Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 5 over-unders to bet. And let's not speak too early, but this has been a sneaky dominant season with the over-unders. This is for the sophisticated users, the people who bet totals. I'm here for you. Let's get this money. First game, we're going to Washington. We got the Chicago Bears, the Bears, at the Washington No-Names. Over, under, 44.5. I'm going under. And there's not a good read on this. Thursday night is always tough to bet. But I think this Washington defensive line is just too damn much for Chicago's front. Listen, I know everyone's out on Fields. I know he's the NFL's whipping boy at this point in time. But the big problem with the Bears has been their offensive line. It seems like Tevin Jenkins will be back. I do think Fields will make a certain amount of plays like he made against the Broncos. But this no-names defense is another caliber. I think they shut everything down on defense. Also, Chicago's defense has to show up at least once, right? How many times can they allow 30 in a season? I know everyone's loving Sam Howell right now. I do think the Bears come out with a decent performance on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going under the 44.5. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Buffalo Bills. Over, under, 48.5. I'm going over. Now, you do worry about this in London. Like I said when I picked the Jags-Falcons games last week, the surface is a part of how you bet these games. Even with that factored in, I do think it goes over. And I know the Jags hit Desmond Ridder a lot, but if you watch the film of their other games beforehand, their front just wasn't getting a hell of a lot of pressure, and their secondary isn't covering too well. I think this Bills offense is in full rhythm and full gusto at this point, and I have to eat a little bit of crow about it, but I do think the Bills find a way to get to 30. And like I said last week, our boy Trevor Lawrence has been playing good. Have the rest of the Jags offense been playing well? No, they haven't. But I do think they step it up. I do think they make this a game. I'm going over the 48.5. And honestly, the more I think about it, the more it's a borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Houston Texans. Stroud at the Atlanta Falcons. Over, under, 41.5. Money, I'm going over, make it a damn money pick. Unconventional, yes, but it makes sense. Now, let's break down this game. I started this Texans bandwagon, and I looked like a doofus that first week against the Ravens. But we know this Texans defense will be competitive, well-coached, and competent, so we can check that off. But I do worry about this Texans defense in the run game. I do think Bijan Robinson will have a big day, and we need to remember Atlanta just simply plays better at home. I think Stroud moves the ball. I think Atlanta's secondary is pretty bad outside of A.J. Terrell and Bates. The rest are really, really weak links, and I think Stroud will be able to exploit that. I think the Texans might be able to run it. It's tough against Grady and Calais Campbell, but on the other side, you always have to worry about Ridder. But like I said, I think the Atlanta Falcons have a big day running the ball. Ridder does just enough. I'm going over the 41.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. Over, under, 44.5. I'm going over. Now, when I say Lions, you say over, and I get it. I'll just explain why this isn't a money pick. We saw how the Lions operated in the second half against the Packers. You could say they were out of rhythm. You could say they just wanted to kill clock and not score any more points. I do worry about that happening in this game. If this was a close game and if the Panthers came to play on offense, the Lions would get to 30 easily in this game. I just don't know how competitive this game is. I don't know if the Lions are going to put together a full 4 quarters on offense. That's why I'm going over. It is a little bit risky with this Panthers offense. They've been really hit and miss, mostly missed this season. I'm going over mostly due to the firepower of that Detroit offense. Next game, we're going to AFC South. Not the Houston Titans. We got the Tennessee Titans. Oilers at the Indianapolis Colts. Over, under 42.5. I'm going under. But this is a tough one because we saw Tannehill finally play good last week. We saw D. Henry finally get his mojo back last week. But we know when you got Grover Stewart and you have a very good front seven like the Colts do, it is tough to run against them. I'm not sure the Titans do much on offense, but I'm also not sure the Colts do a hell of a lot either. We know the blueprint to beat the Titans defense. You don't want to run it at them. You want to do what the Browns did. When you think Browns, you think running the ball, right? Well, the Browns didn't do that. They went 4 wide receiver, spread the field, and threw it damn near 50 times. That's how you beat the Titans defense. I don't know if AR, Colts, and Steichen are ready to play that way yet. I'm going under the 42.5. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Over, under 48.5. Money, money, money. Money. Over. Make it a damn money pick. And yes, you do worry about, is there going to be offensive output from the Giants? I mean, they could only manage 3 points against the Seattle Seahawks defense. That is what? Average in the league, maybe below average if you want to be harsh. But I think the Dolphins will carry this. I think the Dolphins come into this game with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, a little bit of attitude. They're going to throw it down the field. You know what the Giants are going to give you on defense? Man-to-man coverage, and that means Tyreek the Thrill Hill. That means Jalen Waddle. That means Tua in play action, ripping people apart. I think the Dolphins slam back here. They definitely get into the 30s. Maybe the Giants hang some garbage time points. This has over written all over it. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at doing New England Patriots. Over, under 40. Money, money, money. Borderline. I'm going under. And this is contingent on one thing. Is Derek Carr going to play? Because I told you guys last week he shouldn't be playing with an AC joint. We saw Kamara's stat line, 13 catches for 38 yards. I think that should explain and paint a picture about Carr's health at this moment in time. On the other side of the ball, we got a Patriots offense that can't seem to move anyone on the offensive line. They can't seem to throw it, and they have a quarterback that's in meltdown mode. I'm going under, borderline money pick. It's just because the Patriots are so up and down, and this defense might have quit. I mean, have we ever seen a Bill Belichick defense quit? Man, I'm going under, borderline money pick. These two offenses are putrid. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over, under 38, under. And this is more based on history. Like, listen, I'm just not as high on this Ravens offense as other people. and call me the bad guy, call me the hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just not sold on this Ravens team, and I'm not sold on this Steelers offense. And we've heard all the talk about Matt Canada. We don't need to rehash it there. But I feel like this Pittsburgh Steelers defense has to respond. They got torn up by a rookie and a Texans team, and that just shouldn't happen when you invest the amount of money and capital they put into that defense. I'm going under. I think this is going to be one of the ugliest games of the year. This is going to be like a Giants game on Monday night, under the 38. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals, over under 44.5. I'm going under. And I understand, like, Dobbs is making stuff happen for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are getting good coaching both offensively and defensively. But I just think the pace of play in Bengals games, it is so damn slow. That's what's going to keep this under. I mean, when you look at Bengals games the last 4 weeks, everything is dink and dunk. Throw it 4 yards, throw it 3 yards, run it up the middle, and then rinse, repeat. There are no explosive plays. I think the Bengals are last in explosive plays. So I think Gannon will be comfortable. He's going to sit in a shell defense. He's going to let Burrow throw it underneath, and maybe they're able to hit Burrow and force a turnover like the Titans did. I'm going under the 44.5. Next game, we're going out west. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, Hurts, at the Los Angeles Rams, over under 50.5. Tough one, but I'm going under. I think both offenses have a good day. When I was mapping out the score, I had like a 27-24, 24-21. I'm going under. There's not a good read in this game, but I will tell you one thing I am watching in this game. I am watching this Philadelphia Eagles secondary that was absolutely exploited and embarrassed by Sam Howell and Scary Terry McLaurin. I mean, that just shouldn't happen for a team with Super Bowl ambitions. I think Stafford's playing at an extremely high level. If anyone wants to pop on that Colts film, you can see. I called him surgical Matt Stafford, and I think that's how he's playing. With all that being said, when you look at Eagles games in this day and time, in this season, they run the ball a lot. They're not throwing it deep anymore. We did see an A.J. Brown sighting last week, but a lot of it is runs up the middle, quarterback sneaks with people pushing Jalen Hurts. It is kind of a retro-style football, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that means these over-unders tend to tilt towards under. I'm going under, even though I think the Rams' offense could exploit this Eagles' defense. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos, over under 43. I'm going under. I think the Jets' defense puts their stamp on this game. And we don't know what we're going to get from Zach Wilson. Is it going to be terrible? Is it going to be below average? Could it be decent or good like we saw against the Chiefs? I don't really know, but the only thing I can bank on in this game, besides the Broncos defense being shit and Zach Wilson being shit, is I bank on this Jets defense playing with physicality, ruthlessness, and aggression. And I think we see this Jets defense take over the game. Russell hasn't been playing that bad this year, though. I have been cautioning people about that week in and week out. I do see a little improvement with him under Sean Payton, but not enough improvement. And I'm not sure they can block that Jets front, even if we leave Russell out of discussion. I'm going under the 43. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at my Minnesota Vikings, over under 52. Money, money, money. Money. Over. When I say Chiefs, you say over. And that is a philosophy that has been with this channel the last 4 years. And if I was betting in 2003, I would have had that same philosophy for Andy Reid's Eagles team. I mean, he's an offensive genius. You're going up against a Vikings defense that, yes, they did play pretty damn well against Bryce Young and the hapless Panthers, but that's not anything to hang your coat on, so to speak. And we saw what the Vikings did against the Eagles. They rushed 3, they dropped 8, and they were picked apart by the run and the pass, whatever the Eagles wanted to do. And I think we see a similar thing. I think we see the Chiefs get to 30. But on the other side of the ball, when you're dealing with Justin Jefferson, you're dealing with a fucking monster. And Kirk Cousins played well against the Panthers besides that pick 6. And I think this Chiefs defense, I think they got some holes, man. When Zach Wilson is putting up 300 on you, I think Kirk Cousins can do the same. I'm going over the 52, make it a damn money pick. Next game of the week. We got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the San Francisco 49ers. Over, under 45. I'm going with a tentative over. And I do want everyone to take a deep breath and reminisce a little bit. Is this 49ers offense the best offense we've seen in the Shanahan era? I think it is. And I think they're going to run the ball against the Cowboys. And honestly, if you want to attack this Cowboys defense, I think that's the only damn thing you can do. We saw Michael Parsons get beat up a little bit last week. He says he's fully healthy, but either way, I think he's going to be limited in this game. I think we're going to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey, a lot of short, quick throws, and I think that's how the 49ers are going to operate. Now, on the other side of the ball, listen, I know everyone likes to make fun of Dak, but Dak is a good player in this league, and he's one of those players, we'll miss him when he's gone. I do think Dak is able to do some things, and I do like CeeDee Lamb's matchup this game. I really do think CeeDee Lamb has a big day. I think that's enough to tilt this towards over. 49ers are going to get the 27. I think the Cowboys will keep it close, like a 27-23 type game. I'm going over. Next game, Monday Night Football. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Over, under 44.5. I'm going under. Not a lot of science. Not a lot of science. I don't know how either one of these offenses is going to play. I don't know how Jimmy G or Jordan Love is going to play. I don't know if the offensive lines are going to be able to protect either of these quarterbacks. I mean, both of these teams have more questions than answers. I don't know if Josh McDaniels is going to get these guys playing hard. I'm going under the 44.5. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Slam that damn like button. Thank you.